Hey guys, how you doing? Big John with jcustombuilds. So today I'm going to try to get my stereo going again. I've been having some issues with that. I got everything that I needed to actually get it going, but I ran into some complications with just, little parts that I needed to get everything crimped and connected and everything. So let's get into this video. All right, so I got this in there. Now I need to get that. Set this here because I'm gonna have to dress these up a little bit. So what I'm doing, guys, is the wires somehow got tangled up, right? And so I'm just trying to undo them now that I know where they go and straighten them out. I used to do communications. I think I mentioned that before. And it's called dressing the cables, where you have them all, in uniform and you make them look really, really good. And so I'm kind of anal like that, right? I'm actually very anal like that. So that's what I'm doing, taking these babies out and redressing them. So I want this to come outside and then go like that. And I know that's kind of anal, guys, but that's just how I am. That's how I do things, man. I'm just very meticulous, and I love stuff to be uniformed, and I love stuff to be precise. I've been like that all my life, and it's a blessing. And I don't like that other word that people use, but yeah, it sometimes can just want to make sure my puppy didn't. Hi, Bubba's. Hi, buddy. I just wanted to make sure you didn't go out of the gate. I want to make sure you didn't slip under the garage door again. He slipped out of the garage door last week. Oh my God. I was hanging out with Harold next door, right? For like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And all of a sudden we see there's so many cars. My dog touched the, wait, hold on a second. There's so many cars out there when you're sitting in front of his garage. You can't really see, you just see people walking, but you can't really see like their dogs or if they're walking a dog or anything, right? So what happened was this guy snuck out of the door. You know how I have a garage door in the back here and in the front? So you could drive the cars through and motorcycles and everything. And so I had the front open. When I'm at my brother's house next door, I always keep the front garage door open because I keep the front door locked, and that's how I go in and out of the house, is through that. There's a door, right, that goes into the house through the garage. And he got through. I didn't realize this back door was opened enough for him to get out. And he was actually out running around for a long time. And some neighbors I had never met before were out walking a dog, right? But we couldn't see what kind of dog it was. And then all of a sudden the neighbors come over and they're like, hey, did any of you guys lose a dog? And when they came from around the vehicle, Harold's car, we saw that they had Leo. And I was like, oh my God, that's my dog. Where'd you find him at? And they're like, oh, he was just running all over the place. And my wife got home literally like 2 minutes after I brought him back home. Or a minute. It wasn't even 2 minutes. She had no idea what happened. And oh my God, that dog, she loves that dog so much. She's so attached to him and him to her. Oh man, I would have been in the doghouse, man, for a long time if we hadn't found him. So I was very lucky. Very, very, very lucky that I found him. Actually, they brought him back home. I was very, very lucky, man. That would have really been bad, guys, because we've had him now since June. What is it? Yeah, we've had him for about maybe 3 months, I think. We're so attached to him already. And I can't imagine what it would be like if my wife didn't have that guy anymore. She would not be happy, man, let me tell you. She'd be broken hearted because we went to visit some friends 2 years ago. And
He's like another brother to me. We've known each other for about 25 years. His name's Phil. We rode in Yosemite with him a few years ago. That was the first time I took my wife out on the road glide, right? And that's when she realized how much she loved that bike. But while we were over there for Labor Day weekend 3 years ago, it was like 106 here and we had no idea. And all my neighbors were giving him water and stuff. But I didn't know that those dogs are not supposed to be in extreme heat. And we came home and he did not make it, man. And we were devastated. It was so painful. It was extremely, extremely painful. And yeah, and his name was Teo, right? Mateo. And that was very, very tough. We were both very brokenhearted. It's very, very painful when you lose a pet like that, especially a pet that you just extremely, extremely love, you know. And Mateo was my dog, but he literally loved being with Angelina. He loved being with her, man. I'm gonna show you guys how much of a killer my dog is. Watch this. Watch how fast he is too. Go get it, boy. Get it, buddy. And so we chose, you don't want to go out looking for a dog. A lot of people can do that, right? But we did not want to do that. We tried. We went out right away looking for a dog. And we found a lot of dogs, but I guess it just wasn't meant to be because we never ended up adopting them or bringing them home or whatever. Anyways, so here we are again. Now we have little Leo.
Eliminated, let's see, he went from 34, I think, or 35 slots down to...
And we're just extremely grateful for that guy. Extremely grateful. Sorry about the long story, guys. Very long-winded. Sorry about that. I don't even know if I'll leave that on there because it's just me talking. You guys don't want to hear me talking, right? You guys are here to watch me do this. I don't know if these tie wraps are small enough, but we're going to find out. So I'm actually dressing the cables right now, guys. That's actually what I'm doing. Trying to make them all uniform, you know? I'm not going to be able to make it look, you know, like perfect, but sure I'm trying, guys. All right, let's get these on. Yeah, that's the one it went. Let's see. I had to switch the screws, guys, because the head on this one was too small, and when I was trying to put it on the clamp, it kept going through the little holes because the head was too small. So yeah, and this is actually working because it's the same size. Flush cutters, I think it's gonna work, guys. Yeah, worked perfect. All right, it didn't come out exactly the way I wanted it to, but it came out pretty good. Let me show you guys. So I had to redress them. See, anyone in communication knows that this is a diver right there. That's what they call a diver, was when there's a gap and it's not supposed to be crossed over like that. It's supposed to be like, you know, the cable's running. But I mean, that looks good, you know. So now I'm gonna run these guys back through here, and I'll probably set up the camera over here and set the light up because all these plugs right here are actually for the stereo. All these guys down here. So let me get everything set up for you guys. I don't think that this ground wire is gonna be long enough. I'm gonna have to take this all apart now and make the ground wire longer because this one obviously is too damn short. All right, guys, I'm gonna cut you guys off because I gotta take this thing all apart. Hey guys, how you doing? Big John with jcustombuilds. Yeah, it's Monday. So we got one more week left for September, man. October's like literally right around the corner. So anyways, I am gonna get some stuff done today. Let's see what I got going on. So these forks right here are coming off, and I'm gonna put some new bushings on this girl. I'm gonna try to get it started today, but before I actually do that, I'm gonna work on wolf. A little vibration coming out of the front wheel, so I'm gonna take it in and have it rebalanced. Yeah, I'm gonna take that front wheel off, take it in and have it rebalanced, but I'm gonna check it out here first before I do anything. So I'm gonna move this girl to the back there, and I'm gonna make room right now. But before I get started on this girl, so these are the new chrome forks that I just got for Sapphire. I think that's the last thing that I'm gonna do to Sapphire is put the chrome forks on there and get the new bushings and the bars, because it's got a little bit of movement to it and I don't like that. So I tried to tighten them up and the movement didn't go away. So I wish I would have changed those before I did all of that otherwise, but you know, I gotta take the forks off anyway. So yeah, so let's get started moving these babies around. And then this girl right here, I worked on it yesterday and I got all this stuff done, but I was having issues with these guys on here. So I ordered a couple of new ones because I didn't crimp these properly or the right way because I didn't have the crimping tool. So I beat them with the hammer and they're not actually staying in. So I don't think it was an issue before, but it became an issue because I went messing with them and pulling and tugging on them. I couldn't get it to work on, even though I rewired everything yesterday. I rewired everything that I just showed you, but this, I had put one of those little crimps on here, I forget what they're called. This right here, I'd stuck the wires through each side, and I did cut the jacket a little bit on the wire, but for whatever reason, it was not connecting properly. So the light on the amp was turning on and off and on and off. This is the remote for the remote. So what I did is I ended up pulling out the soldering gun and soldered that yesterday. Had to take the fairing off to get all that done. The life of having bikes, right? And having to do things to them. So anyways, I ordered the new connectors. So these are the guys right here. I beat them, like I said, with the hammer. I tried to open them up as best I could. You can see that one's still really closed. Can't get no wires in there. So I went to a stereo shop in Hayward today. They were selling me just these two pieces, just one side, right? For $32 plus tax. I found both sides with the 4 connectors on Amazon for $7.99, of course, plus tax. So you're looking at like maybe $9-10 delivered, right? So I ordered 2 of these, 8 of these and 2 of these, which I didn't need, but I needed like extra connectors. I got them for like $12, under $12 for 2 of these delivered. The guy at Stereo Shop couldn't believe it. But anyway, so if you're gonna be rewiring your stereo, stay away from this crap. I mean, this is okay for like speaker wires and stuff, you know, even then, you know, if you got a lot of vibration on your bike, you know, try to get really good connections or solder everything, man, because you do stuff like this and you're taking chances of having, you know, a short somewhere or not a really good connection, and it's just going to cause a lot of problems. So anyways, that's the only thing that's keeping that girl right there from running. And I wanted to put the tires and wheels on it, but, you know, we'll do that at a later time. I'll show you guys the wheels that I got for it later today, and we'll go from there. But this girl right here, I got to get her started. Let's see if she starts. I haven't started her in a couple months. Battery's probably really low. Oh yeah, that's why you should keep your you got to keep your tender on there, your battery tender, because that's actually what happens when you don't, you know, you don't start your bikes for a month or 2, you know. So I'm gonna grab that tender over there and get this girl charged up, and I'm gonna bring Wolf back here as well. So unfortunately with my back right now, I can't push the bikes. So because this is at a slope, what I was gonna do is I was gonna start Sapphire and put her out there, and then roll her more that way, or back more, and kind of bring her in here, rock her all the way like next to Blue, and then put Wolf right here so I can have room to work on Wolf. So that's still the plan, but now I have to wait for the battery to charge on Sapphire. So kind of sucks, but oh well. Okay guys, so I have Wolf in the back right now. Do you guys remember how Blue was having a rough time turning? And now it just spins freely. Look at that, hardly any effort, right? Well, I got vibration in the front of Wolf at around, I'd say around 30, 35 miles an hour. And you can see where it's kind of rubbing right here. I don't know if it's just because everything's brand new or what, but look at that. That's just got hardly any movement. So I'm gonna take that front wheel off, and that might be the problem. Still really tight. Let's grab these and see if they're the same size. Yeah, they're exactly the same size. Huh. It's crazy. What's up, buddy? What are you doing? So, for whatever reason, these babies are torn. So, for whatever reason, these brakes, they're the same size spacers, but I did put new rotors on here. So, I don't know if that's actually causing the problem that I'm experiencing here, but it's definitely, I don't think it's the balance on the wheel. I think it's the calipers are just, they're sitting too tight for whatever reason. So I see that this caliper, it doesn't look like this is retracting all the way. So I'm gonna have to take the pin out. And, Okay guys, so let me go over what I did to Wolf as far as the wheel and the caliper and everything go. It's crazy. I ended up going through everything on the wheel. So I ended up taking all the both of the calipers off. This one was fine. I thought the other one was sticking, so I took it apart and completely cleaned it and rebuilt it again, make sure nothing was inside. What it was the bearing on this side was driven too far out this way on both sides. It wasn't actually centered. So what I did was I knocked this one in first and then I knocked the other one in. But you're supposed to center them, at least I believe, because I put them in before and I usually knock them in on each side, and I've never had to actually center them before. That's actually the first time. And so the spacers were exactly the same size, so I cleaned those up a little bit. So what happened was this caliper on this side, on the outside, was actually rubbing against here, but I didn't see that. So it wasn't the alignment as far as the spacers go. It was actually the alignment on the bearings. So you just got to make sure that you center those bearings. And if you center those bearings and have equal spacing on each side with the sleeve inside nice and tight, you don't want that loose. The bearings are in evenly,
And then when you end up putting the wheel on, you get everything in, you're gonna have an even amount on each side of the caliper. So that's what it was. The wheel was sitting too far to the right, it wasn't even, and I realized that. That caliper was the last one that I put on. And after I realized I put it on, the wheel was not spinning properly, and that's when I realized, what the heck? And I looked at the caliper, I noticed that it was hitting. So then I started looking at the spacing on the bearings, and then I realized, damn, that's exactly what it is. So it took me a little while, a couple hours, to figure out exactly what it was after rebuilding the calipers and having to rebleed the brakes and everything, but I got it going, man. So this girl is completely ready. She's ready to go. I really don't need anything else to do to this bike. It's actually 100% done, unless I find some other little stuff that I want to do to it. But other than that, she's done. And so all I got to do is get some rides on her, and I want to actually get those recorded. So I have my batteries charging right now. I put the chips inside both my cameras. And so I'm actually ready to do some rides on this bike and get some video of her on the road. Everything's all torqued down. Everything's all good. I ended up taking this off, and I ended up rewiring. The right speaker wasn't working. I ended up soldering the speakers instead of having those little clips on there, because the little clips are just a pain in the butt, man. So everything's working 100% on Wolf, and everything's fine on this girl. I just have to do the bushings on the bars. I ordered some emblems for the tank and the forks. I'm gonna get those forks done. They're sitting right over there. And so I actually started another project, which I'll show you guys at another time. So that's pretty much gonna be a wrap for this video. Hey guys, so that's gonna be a wrap for this video. If you guys have not entered to win Wolf or Sapphire 2010 Streetglide, 2009 Electric Glide, Ultra Classic, man, you guys are missing out. We're down to 123 spots left for these bikes. And you know, the hats right now are 75, the t-shirts are 75, but I'm probably gonna leave the hats where they're at, and I'm actually gonna raise up the t-shirts because they raised the prices on me. The prices went up a little bit on the shipping as well, so I'm probably gonna see if I could leave it where it's at. It might go up a couple of bucks, so I'm thinking of just raising the t-shirts back up to $90 or $100 per t-shirt, because I got expenses. You know, I got to pay for the shirts, I got to pay for the hats, I got to pay for the shipping, I got to pay for the packaging, the tape, the materials. And so it's not cheap. So anyways, if you guys haven't entered, man, all you got to do is head over to my website, buy yourself a t-shirt or a hat. There's 3 different style t-shirts for women. And I got black t-shirts again from large all the way up to 3X. So if you're interested, head over to the website. That's all you have to do. Other than that, you guys have yourself a great evening. Always remember to ride safe, take care, and everything you do, and God bless.